Next level.
Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra, Editor-in-Chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Today, we are taking center stage on the Own It magazine and publishing platform with a special business spotlight. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in my contributing writer that's going to go ahead and help me out with this interview today. So let me go ahead and bring her on in. Hey, what's going on? Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Tiffany.
How are you doing? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this.
I am too.
So tell me again, because I am still having a little bit of trouble with pronunciation on the business that we are spotlighting today. So please, can you share with us the business name that we're spotlighting today?
Yes, the Macoupin County Wild Riders. They're local to me here in the St. Louis area, Southern Illinois, and they are one of my nonprofit consulting clients. That's a little subsection of my Write by Steph business because I used to do grant writing. A lot of my clients didn't have what they needed to successfully get grants, so I thought, okay, I'm going to step away from the grant writing for a little bit, and I'm going to start working with nonprofits to help them get to where they need to be successful and get the grants and get the money to keep their mission going.
I just love that. I just love that because you're out there and you're really helping people to just show up and shine. You know what I'm saying? So high five to you on that. So I'm just so excited to have the board president with us today. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in and we're going to get to know her a little bit. Y'all don't know about me here, but I am a horse lover, have been riding for years and just cannot wait to dig into chatting about Macoupin Wild Riders. So County Wild Riders, excuse me. So let's go bring her on in. Welcome, welcome, Elizabeth. How are you this morning?
Doing great. Glad to be on here.
Yes, and we are glad to have you. So, Stephanie, I am going to go ahead and let you take the floor because you know what? Today, this is your interview spotlight. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and take it.
All righty then. First off, Elizabeth, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Macoupin County Wild Riders?
Well, this is actually our 60th year. It was started in 1964, the year I was born. And family. So I started talking to some of the older members, the ones that were kids, like when this started. And they, one lady told me that it was a family of 20 families put this together, started it. A gentleman went and took out a note so that we could build the building and the arena and everything. And then they were so proud of themselves when they got it all paid back. We now need to bring it back from the ashes. It kind of through the years, horses have gotten expensive. The video games, kids are not outside like they were. So that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to rebuild the club and it's coming along.
Great. So what got you involved in the Macoupin County Wild Riders? Why did you decide to jump on the saddle?
Well, we had shown there, quite a few years ago when I had teenagers. Mm-hmm. Then I retired from AT&T and I got involved in 4-H because I was a 4-H'er when I was a kid. And now I have, all this time on my hands. So with being a 4-H leader, we found out the Thursday before our show that our show was canceled due to the club going under. And we just could not have that. I mean, we've had our shows there the last 18 years. So we had an emergency meeting to see what we could do to vitalize the club. All the kids that are now adults that have been showing all their life showed up, and we put together a new board, and we've just taken off. We went out, got donations. It's like I said, it's starting to come back. We've had several successful shows. We were able to put on our 4-H show.
Nice. Oh, I love that. I love, and see, and you're talking about 4-H. You're talking my language here, because I was on the other side. I was with the FFA, Future Farmers of America. So it's just amazing, and I know that the the communities. When it comes to this industry, they're very close knit communities. So I'm so glad that you all were able to kind of come together to really, help to bring this back together. So that's just really awesome. So what do you think has been the most difficult thing so far?
Money, because we started out in the negative with lots of unpaid bills. But the community has come together. All our bills are current. We're starting to bring in a little money with supporting 4-H. We make donations to different organizations. The money isn't just for us. It's for the community and the kids and the fun. Like, matter of fact, I have a new little boy I'm now a scout leader too. He asked if we were going to have a Halloween show this year. I said, oh, yes, we are. October 26th. He goes, I could dress up my horse. I said, you sure can. And he goes, I will be there. And he's like a second grader.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That is just amazing. I mean, because horses give people so much joy. I mean, it's just kind of awesome and just very profound how they do that. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because, you hear about horse therapy, and I've been around a little bit, and I've seen the magic behind that. So can you share just a little bit about what horse therapy is, and just give a little bit of example to our audience, please?
Well, there's actually a couple different kinds of therapy. Some of it's physical therapy for your handicapped children. It helps build their core so they can even function in their regular life. And not to mention the joy, there's something about horses. And I know I'm a horse girl, but there is something when you touch a horse, the vibrations, it just like de-stresses everything. Yeah. And from what I understand, a lot of kids that like get in trouble, have had problems, it has turned their life around. I know out in Arizona, they used to have a prisoner program where they brought in all the wild horses and they would train them to sell. And they no longer do that. But what an amazing program it was. A lot of those guys got out and changed their lives.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so amazing. Yeah.
So you were talking about the physical. How do horses help people emotionally?
It's really hard to explain. They give off an aura. They're always forgiving. As a kid, I can remember being mad at my parents and going out to the barn and crying in my horse's neck because she just made everything okay. They listen. They're quiet. I think it's the aura they gave off that just makes you feel better just being around them.
Yeah. It's like you want to just give them a hug, and just those eyes as well. I don't know. There's something special about a horse's eyes, I think, too. That just really gives you that calm. It to me, it gives me that. It invokes all those feel good hormones. It's almost like exercising. But now you had said something earlier about the core and how it strengthens the core. You never think about, horseback riding as being an exercise, but it really does take a lot of physical strength to stay up on that horse. So can we talk a little bit about like just kind of those benefits that maybe you've seen in people as well?
Some of the benefits is, like I said, the core muscles, because you've got to be able to sit up straight. You got to be able to balance. So it helps with your balance, because everyone thinks you sit on a horse. You're actually kind of, English, they're even more the way they sit, because they have their legs bent so far and everything, they're actually using their thigh muscles and their knees to hold them in that position. Not to mention, your core muscles. Everyone thinks, horses are so fun, but there's a lot of work. I mean, I muck stalls, I throw bales of hay, I carry 50-pound and 80-pound bags of grain. So you're even, your arm strength there too. I'm 60 now, and I think I'm in pretty good shape for an old 60-year-old lady, just because the horses have kept me young.
No, absolutely. And I mean, if you're out there moving, bales of hay and all those bags of food and stuff like that, I mean, that is definitely a workout. Forget going to the gym. Just get out there on the farm, I mean, really.
Right. Say, if anybody needs, a workout, come on out.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we will be right back with Elizabeth Wright. We'll be right back, everybody. Hello, and we are back. Big ups to Upscale Online Biz Solutions. Charles Wright over there at Upscale. If you need any solutions really when it comes to websites, when it comes to being able to show up out there, you definitely want to reach out to Upscale Online Biz Solutions. We are back with Elizabeth Wright with Macoupin, right?
Macoupin.
Macoupin, sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get it. I am going to get it. Macoupin. Got it. Macoupin County Wild Riders. And we are talking about the just special ability that horses have. We are talking about the organization that Elizabeth and her team of board members have been working to save. This is something that we feel this is lost, everybody. Getting out in nature, being around animals and hugging trees and doing all these different things. This has been known to heal people. Okay. And we just talked a little bit about the mental aspect of being around horses. You can de-stress when you're around them. And when you de-stress, guess what? The blood pressure goes down. So you're going to wind up getting in better health by being around horses. And I just love what you all are doing to bring, this back to children, because children are playing those video games and they've got their phones in their hand constantly and they are missing that connection. So I want to thank you so much for what you are doing out there, Elizabeth, as well as your team there. So you guys are doing a whole lot. And I know it's a juggle, and I know just trying to, raise money and do all these things. How do you find that balance, and what does self-care look like for you? Because you look magnificent, so I know you're taking care of yourself. So what does that look like for you?
Well, thank you very much. I do a lot outside. So being outside just relaxes me. I solve all my problems while I'm mucking the stalls out. You'd be surprised, just, you can think and it's quiet and you just kind of hear the sounds of nature. And every now and then you get a visitor and you got to run him out of the stall. But, just sometimes when they stand outside and breathe, it's really amazing. And people nowadays are missing that because they're too busy with work and the phone and videos, the the computer. You miss being outside.
Yeah.
So I retired 4 years ago, and I don't regret it. I get to be outside now all the time, not locked in a building.
Yes. And you were in that corporate rat race, we'll call it, right? You said you were with AT&T?
Yeah. And I worked in a building with no windows at all. So it was really depressing.
Yeah. And I bet you there was a lot of people that got sick. I bet there were a lot of people calling out and things like that. Now, do you notice the difference in yourself? Like, I know you notice the difference, like you're happier, but do you notice like even that maybe, your immune system has gotten even stronger since you've, been able to be out there in nature and be able to breathe that clean air and not be stuck in a building?
Yes. More is the mood though, because with no sunlight, you don't get those endorphins. It's no wonder poor people get depressed. And even if you can see it through a window, it still doesn't actually penetrate the window and into your skin.
Yeah.
And so that is the biggest thing I've noticed. I used to get so depressed in the winter, where now if I start feeling that way, I can walk outside, take in a little sunshine, even if it is chilly. I usually take a trip to Arizona. Sometimes I'm gone a couple months. This last year, I could only go 3 weeks because of all my commitments. But there I was in the sunshine. There's a lot to say about getting out in the sunshine.
Really is. That vitamin D is just magical. Right, Steph?
Yes. And the communication with horses too. People don't realize that horses communicate. It's like you watch their little ears rotate and they're listening to you. And sometimes humans don't listen to each other. So I think it's wonderful that we have our horses to talk to.
There is a lot of communication. What I call my heart horse, he has been the love of my life. He got bit by a snake here in Illinois. So he keeps getting infections. And I had to retire him out to Arizona with my mom. And I really miss him. And I have just never bonded with another horse like him, because he knew me. I wouldn't even have to talk to him. He'd feel my body move and knew what to do. And I'm working so hard with my new horse to try and get that bond.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I know he wants to bond with me. It's me.
And then that energy has to be there as well. So, but they can totally tell. Like, I know when I was riding so much more, if I would be depressed or something, the horses would, if I just be out there, just kind of stand, and the horses would come up. And there was one in particular named Homer that whenever I would be really sad out there, he would put his head on my shoulder.
Oh, I completely get it. That's the way Bugsy is. He knew me. He would do anything with me. We did some crazy stuff together that most horses would have never went through. But he trusted me, and I trusted him. And that bond is really, really hard to find with somebody else. It's kind of like meeting the love of your life, and they're passing, and you have to try to find somebody else.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So, Steph, do you have any other questions?
The bond between board members. Can you go into that a little bit, Elizabeth, about how everyone came together and has just worked so well together? And
well, this is the other thing about horses. None of us really knew each other. I knew a couple of them as little kids out showing, but it's different as an adult. We have just bonded. We're all Facebook friends, total strangers. We get along great, but our common bond is the horses. And I have several friends. I have a 40 over 40 group that I attend, and it started out just as 40 ladies over 40, and now I think last I heard there was like 250 of us now in the group, and we all meet once a month. This month's at Donna's Barn, and have dinner. We do things for the community. It's just crazy how horses will bring you together, and you now have great friends because horse people, as you know, you're a horse person. We give our heart and soul to everything because the horses taught us that.
That's so true. That is so true. And everybody that I know that's a horse person is that way. I mean, we're so just loving, and it's just so wonderful. And I just love this. So how can our audience help you guys? How what can they do for you guys? How can they connect? How can they help?
Well, if you're in the area, feel free to stop into one of our shows. We love spectators or riders, either one. We have good food there. And then donations would be amazing, just because the building was neglected, so we're doing a lot of things there. The health department's changed all its rules, so we have to move our kitchen into our clubhouse, where before we had it like in a little trailer. Just different things like that. We've really got to upgrade and compete with like some of the other ones here. The difference between us and them is they've decided to go big or go home. They got in with big professional rodeo things. We want to keep it for the kids. We want to honor the families that started this 20 years ago or 60 years ago, the 20 families, and keep it for the kids. And I have had parents come up and tell me what a wonderful place to come to now. And that just makes my heart grow.
Yeah. No, I think sometimes it's good to just kind of keep it smaller, more intimate, right? Just it keeps it authentic and just true. So I love how you guys are doing that. So everybody out there, and I mean everybody, even if like everybody loves horses, even if you've never ridden anything, but you want to help something, you want to be a part of something very special, and you want to help to bring kids back out doing something other than being behind a screen or with their phones, things like that. There are some children that, are not necessarily into sports, but they are really looking for something to do. This is it, you guys. I mean, because they're going to get the mental, fitness from this. They're going to get those endorphins are going to be going. They're going to find that good mood there, and they're also going to get the physical, like Elizabeth was explaining. When they're riding, when they're learning how to ride, that core is going to get stronger. Even those legs and things are going to get stronger as well. So if you're looking for something for your kids, definitely tap into this. And if you're looking to donate, please connect with Elizabeth as well. Stephanie, do you have any other questions before I ask my final question with Elizabeth?
And is the group just for kids? Can any ride in Macoupin County Wild Riders?
We have riders from 2 to 89, our oldest. He actually was one of the original people who started our 4-H that I'm a leader of now. Bob comes out and rides sometimes. So my mom's 82. If she was here and not in Arizona, because when she stayed with me one summer, she rode in our arena. So there is no age limit. If you can get on and hang on, you can ride.
Yes. Ooh, yes. So, Elizabeth, what's some words of wisdom or words of encouragement that you can provide to our audience today? Especially if they're, wanting to just step out, and it sounds like you're really working in your passion now. You left that other stuff behind, and you're now just really just happy and just at that just sweet spot, we'll say. So what's some words of wisdom or words of encouragement you can give our audience? Someone that's just kind of standing there like, they're almost playing double dutch in a way, about ready to jump in, but they just can't yet. So what can you tell them?
Well, I kind of got thrown in because I didn't want our kids had practiced so hard. I didn't want the 4-H show canceled. So what I say is surround yourself with good, positive people. Do something you love and jump in and just go 100 miles an hour. I've never ran an arena before. I like I said, I surrounded myself with good people, and we just jump in and we're doing it. And they think we're the parents think we're organized. I kind of giggled when he said we were more organized than any of the other ones. I spend a lot of time getting everything ready for the shows, but it doesn't feel like work. So do something that doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. Do something that does not feel like work, y'all. When it's fun and doesn't feel like work, you can do it 10, 12, 15 hours a day, and it really doesn't matter. So just make sure you take time to breathe. So Steph, do you have any words of wisdom or words of encouragement you'd like to
just be open to new experiences. I've always been someone that I love watching horses. I love watching the races, different things. I love watching my friends' horseback riding videos. And now that I'm getting to really help horses, it's like I'm learning all new terminology. Someone will say, well, we need to do this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm an outsider. Explain it to me like I'm a kindergartner. This is all new to me, and I love it. So just the more you're willing to be open to learning and new experiences, you never know what will come in your life.
That's right. I love that. Look, and everybody, just don't think, just do. Just, if it's something that is just in your heart, and your heart is going to it's always going to steer you in the right direction. You just got to listen to it. You got to get out of your head. So don't think, just do. So Elizabeth, I want to just thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit about what you do and the organization and how we can help. And Steph, I want to thank you so much for bringing Elizabeth here and helping us to be able to introduce her as well, and just sharing a little bit of that horse love out there, y'all, because just tap into it. So thank you also for being a part of the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics family. We love you so much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will definitely see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
To the next level.